To make this, what is the first one we need to understand? Endpoint. Endpoint. What is the endpoint we receive? This endpoint. What type of method is this? Then response we are expecting in the form of this. First, let us make a request, read the body of the response, then we will decide what exactly we want to do. Right. So, how do you make it? Public string. Then this way. What I'm doing here. First, HTTP. Request. Request dot set endpoint. How do you set the endpoint? Then making a request dot set endpoint, set method, then send the request HTTP response. Then you got the response. Basic format. Endpoint, set method, send the request, get the response. Once you got the response, now you want to get only header keys. Only you want to get the header keys. If you want only header keys, what I can do? Then I'm giving list of string keys equal to response dot header keys. I want to know what are the keys are there in the header response. You received a response. In the response, what are the header elements you are getting? Now, how do you take it? For string is, we don't need all this, but for your understanding, what will be there in the header part of response? We are only interested on the body part, but at the same time, we want to just have a quick idea about what will be there in the header part of response. Put them in the response. What is the map I have given? This is how we got it. So what I have given? What we have given, we made a request. After making a request, whatever the response we received, whatever the response we received, from the response we received only the keys. Now based on the key, we are going to get the corresponding value. If we give the key, we are going to get the corresponding value. If we give the key, we are going to get the corresponding value. So made a request, then endpoint method send a request, we get a response, we are going to get only keys. Based on the key, find out the value, put them in a map. Now whenever you are making a web service call to external system, it is always must that we need to add this in the remote site settings. How do you do that? Administer, security controllers, remote site settings. For example, text. Then I'm just trying to display here. Rendered is not enough. Column value equal to this is how we created. So have a preview. So what are the properties we have? What we received here? Property, cache control, connection, content length. Then what type of response we received? Content type. Response type is application JSON. Now see the first response header. Once you understand the response header, we'll go with the response body. Cache control, no cache, connection, keep alive, content length 353 characters. What type of response we receive? Application is. Based on this, we can identify how you want to parse it. So date, expires, pragma, server. So, right? I hope you are good with this. So these are the header elements. Now, if you want body, what is the body we received? I don't want the header element. I want to receive the body. If you want to receive the body, receive the body. Once I receive the body, how do you deserialize it? What is the result we had? What is the result we are going to get? Result equal to response dot get body. So response dot get header elements, response dot get body. So go back to the header element. We can make received header. At the bottom, what we received here? It is in the form of JSON. If it is in the form of JSON, what should I do? If it is in the form of JSON, I need to read the pin code value. So how do you read the pin code value? I don't want the entire data. See, now whatever the response you received, if the format of this, if you have any wrapper class in the same format, it's okay. If you don't have a wrapper class, if you have a wrapper class in this format, no issue. If you don't have a wrapper class, then I have to take one by one character and get my data. If you already have a wrapper class in this format, it's okay. If you don't have the wrapper class, then I need to take one by one token, read my data. Are you getting my point? So we already have some predefined tools for converting the JSON to Apex. Let me show you that. What are the JSON tools we have? JSON to Apex converter. What are the JSON response we got? You paste it. No. Look at this. No. This is a wrapper class. If you create this wrapper class, then you can convert it. If you cannot create this wrapper class, what I can do? You don't want to take this headache of converting all this stuff. Simply I can go with. Are you getting my point? We are getting a wrapper class. Use that wrapper class and say JSON dot deserialize. Okay, name of the class, JSON string comma name of the class. This Apex class we received. So they give class within a class, which I have to make it as this is the form. Okay. So look at this. This is the wrapper class. Now I was supposed to create this class. How I am getting this? I have used a tool based on the JSON. They create the corresponding class structure. Now what we can do? What we can do? I can create an object. I can use it. JSON dot deserialize result comma. Right. When if you have that wrapper class, whatever the response you are getting, that response wrapper class is available. The response format of wrapper class is available with you. I can use this. If you don't have, I will directly go with the dynamic deserialization. Are you getting my point? Whatever the response you are getting, the format of your response is already available with you in the form of wrapper class. Then I will convert in the form of wrapper class. If the format is not available to you, then I need to go for dynamic serialization. Are you getting my point? Now what I'm doing in this case, this is the format. Now result set. So what I have to give here? What is the attributes you are taking? Result set dot message status, and we need to get the post office. We will identify pin code. The list of post office we have. No. What we are supposed to do, boss? Now we got result set. It is the form of post office. Public class post office from JSON result set. It's a list only, right? By unknown property. Okay, let's remove this and take put simple result set. Okay, let me go back. So what we're getting? Message, number of post office. We're getting the data in the form of object. We're getting the data in the form of object. Now, why I require all this data? I'm not interested on all this data. I am interested only on pin code. When you are interested only on pin code, why I was doing convert the data into JSON to all this stuff? I need only one value. What is that pin code value I require? To do that pin code value, why I was taking all this structure? I'm not interested to take all this structure. So what I will be doing? I'll be going with a single line. What was that? System.json parcel. Create parcel. While jp dot next token not equal to null. What is the response I require? I require the response of post office. No. If jp dot get text equal to pin code, jp dot next token pin code equal to dot. This is what I'm going to keep. Instead of creating a wrapper class and doing all that stuff, what I was doing here, take the JSON string, take one by one token. If the current token is pin code, get the next value and assign to pin code. Are you getting my point? Now, here, if you already have this structure, it's very good. But if you have to form the structure and understand the structure, it takes more time. Now, if you want entire data to be displayed, then I need to go for wrapper class. No, I don't want the entire data. I want one of the attribute in the result. Then I will go for dynamic deserialization. Now, I am not interested in getting a branch type, delivery status, taluk, circle, district, division. I am not interested. What I am interested is only on the pin code number. Then why should I parse entire thing? Take my required information. So, which is better option now? This is the better option. Depends upon the context you have to take. Suppose if you have to use all this data, then creating a wrapper class, converting into wrapper class and using is a good option. But in my case, I require only a pin code number, so I prefer to go with the first option. I hope you are good with this. Rather than what I am doing here. This is how we are getting the data. I hope you are good with this, right? So you want all the data or you want a specific data? You want all the data, all the response, whatever you are getting, you want to use it, convert the response in the form of wrapper class, then use it. No, you want only one or two attributes in the response, then better we go with dynamic deserialization. I hope you are good with this. I hope you are good with this. People who followed. People who followed. Right, boss? Clear for everyone? Followed or not? Now, the same thing, I am going with the next one. Now, whatever the two requests I made as of now, both of them are what? Open API. Open API means no authentication is required for this. No authentication is required for this. It's an open API. Now we want to go for authentication based, which means you need to pass security token, then only the service will be given to you. Now what I'm doing,
Satish,
yes,
can you explain the program one more time?
what we are doing here, making a request, we are getting a response. Now,
Okay, especially from request set method get from there onwards.
pardon me, come again.
Explain it from the set gate method. Is there correct from there onwards?
This line number, don't prolong it, make it quick,
Yes, yes.
ask it quickly. Which line number?
Yes, p7p dot send request. Line number 18.
Right. Now, I have taken this code. In the last class, I also explained the same method. I told very clearly, this I am taking you to tell you what type of attributes will be there in the header. But while you're making a request, you don't need all this stuff. But later on, if you want to know what elements are there in the response, I should know. What is the purpose of get header keys? What was this? Response dot get body. What this will give you? This will run body of the response. When you got the body, what I was doing? Body of the response we received. Then I want to deserialize it. What I'm doing? Deserialize the body, which is in the form of JSC, and fetch the pin code. Fetch the pin code. Now what did you do? Created a JSON parser, verified. If next token is not equal to null, move the cursor, then check. If next token is not equal to null, check whether token equal to pin code or not. If token equal to pin code, how the value will be? Pin code colon, the value will be. If my cursor is currently at the pin code, if my current token is pin code, what should I do? Move the cursor to next location. That's what I told. JP dot next token. Move the cursor to next location. Then get text. When you say get text, this is the value what I'm getting. Right, boss? If the current token is pin code, move the cursor to the next location and get the value of the next token. If pin code is the current token, next token will be the value. Then get the value. That's what I give. That's what I give here. So, okay. That's what I have given here. If JP dot next token not equal to null, JP dot get text equal to pin code, move the cursor to the next location, get the value of pin code. This is for getting the header. No, boss, you want to know the header values? You want to know the header values? I can remove all this stuff. If you want only header values, I don't want the body, I want only header values, what you can do? Fetch all the key attributes in the response header. You are getting keys. You are getting the keys. Once you got the keys, what I'm doing? Based on the key, get the corresponding value. Based on the key, get the value from map. Now, if in the map, if you give the key, what are you going to get? In the map, if you give the key, what are you going to get? In the map, if I give the key, you are going to get the corresponding value. In the map, if I give the key, you are going to get the corresponding value. Now, here we are getting the data in the form of map. Here we are getting the data in the form of a map. When you are getting the data in the form of a map, how do you get the keys? Key set. How do you get the value? Map dot get of key. That's what I've done here. This is a map. This is a header. Response dot get header. Yes. Get header is a map. In the map, I am giving S as a key. If we give a key, we are getting a value. Now, value may be a string, value may be a boolean, value may be x, y, z. That is the reason I have taken object as a value. Getting my point? This is what? Body, deserialize it. This is what? Header, know each and every key and use it. Generally, we don't use this. What we need? We need this. To tell you what will be there in the response, I am also doing this. But basically, what is your point? Your point is only this. Right, boss? I hope you are good with this.
Yes, clear. Yes,
Let us go to
understand.
the
Thank you.
next one.
Thank you so much.
Let us go to the next one. Going with the next example, trying to get currency. Now it is a currency converter. If I give rupee, if you give dollar, it will tell me how many rupees. If I give rupee, it will tell me how many dollars. Like if I give a rupee, it will tell how many dollars. If I give a dollar, how many rupees. Now what is my requirement? Every day on nightly basis, every day night at 5 o'clock, every day night at 5 o'clock, batch operation has to run. At 5 o'clock and at morning at 9 o'clock and evening at 6 o'clock, operation has to run. And it has to tell me in the morning 5 o'clock, it has to tell me what is the $1 equal how many rupees in the morning, $1 equal how many rupees in the evening. $1 equal how many rupees in the morning, $1 equal how many rupees in the evening. This operation has to run every day. Every day I need to get a process here. At this moment, this is the time. This time, 1 rupee, okay, $1 equal to how many rupees? Now I want to store it. So currency conversion rates I want to store. Or else every day, evening 5 o'clock, batch operation will run, fetch all the opportunities which are displayed in the form of dollars, convert them in the form of rupees and display. So at the end of the day, today evening at the 5 o'clock, whatever the final dollar rate is there, based on that you convert the opportunity amount and display it. Now this is my requirement. So how many records will be there? I am not sure how many records are there in opportunity. There may be 10,000, 1 million or 10 million. When I am not sure how many records are there, what is the solution I have? I need to go for batch bugs. If you want to go for a batch bug, sir, first question is, can I call web service from a batch bugs or not? Can I call web service from the batch bugs or not? First point is, this is not open API. I am going to provide the authentication key. There is a web service. Second one is, every day evening at 5 o'clock, the operation has to be performed. It has to update every opportunity record. How many opportunity records are there? I am not sure. As you are not sure how many opportunity records are there, then there is a possibility of encountering a governing limits. So I am going for a batch bugs. Right? So when I want to go for a batch bugs, will the batch bugs allow web service call or not? Will the batch bugs allow web service call or not is the second question. So we need to understand these 3 points, create this example. First, as per my requirement, go to opportunity object. I am preferring opportunity as it has more number of records. Right. So let us start this operation. First, It has to be global implements database dot batch. First, let us build batch specs. First, let us build a batch specs. So we are giving global database dot batchable context. I give a query to fetch all the list of opportunities. Then execute method. Batchable context. Right. Then I'm taking one by one opportunity. Because for every opportunity, I need to make a web service call. Now, I want to first make a web service call here. How do you make a web service call? Yes. Endpoint. First, I'll go with a static value. So I've taken endpoint. So who has given this endpoint? Whatever the system has given me, the same thing I'm using. Whatever the system has given me, same endpoint I'm using. Now they told, boss, if you want to make a request to me, use this endpoint. They told, boss, if you want to make a request to me, use this endpoint. Whatever the endpoint they have given me, I'm using it. Who has given this? Documentation. The documentation has given me this endpoint. If you have any spaces or blanks, you need to go for URL encoding. This is how we create it. Now, how do you make it now? Request dot endpoint. This endpoint what we are making. HTTP request string endpoint. Okay. Now, what type of request is this? If you are passing the data in the URL, obviously this method is going to be get method. If you are passing the data in the URL, obviously the method is going to be get method. Then I'm going to make a request. HTTP response equal to p dot send. You are sending a request, we are getting a response. How the response is coming to you? The response is coming to you in the form of what? Now, when you want when you're getting the data in the form of JSON, you want entire data or you want only currency value? I want only INR value. Already we have given dollar. I want to know what is the currency value. So what I want to do? You want to go for a wrapper class or you want to go for a dynamic serialization? I will go for a dynamic serialization. So what I will do here? String response dot get body. So we received the response in the form of JSON. I'm giving create parser while jp dot x token not equal to null. Check if jp dot get text equal to, then move the cursor to the next location. Move the cursor to the next location. jp dot, then get the value. How do you get the value? INR value equal to decimal jp dot get currency, get decimal value. Now what was this? When you make a request, they are giving you a response in the form of JSON. From the JSON I received the value of INR. $1 equal to how many INR? Right? I am reading the value. Once I read the value, I need to take opportunity. Right. OP dot amount into then update. I'll explain the code once again, but look at the first, what are the bugs we have? Void batchable context. Then what we are doing? Jobs process. Okay, it's okay. Status from. So what do you want to do? Messaging dot We can give a number of items processed, how many of them are success or fail is your choice. Just giving basic information. Then sending the message. This is my operation. In this operation, what was the bug? VC dot get job ID. Now what is the issue? As I am using a variable, colon is missing. Okay. Now what was this start method, execute method, finish method? Start, execute, finish. Now I will try to execute this batch. We'll see one by one issue what we are encountering and how we are fixing it. The issue was I was trying to make a web service call from BatchFX and I am trying to execute it. If you want to make a web service call from BatchFX, what are the issues we have? How do you fix it? First, the remote site setting, security controllers. Then we have remote site settings. First issue. First issue is endpoint URL not registered. I have registered it. Second one, execute it. I was supposed to pass API key. I am passing API key. Then execute it. Execute batch. We execute it. Now let us see what is the status. First, too many callouts, error 1. So it is not allowing you to make a callout from the BatchFX. So we are not able to make a web service call from the BatchFX. But my requirement is making a web service call from BatchFX. So what should I do? Then I have to implement database.allows callouts. What is the interface I implemented? Database.allows callout. If I implement this, again the same code I am executing. So initially, when I invoke the BatchFX, BatchFX failed. BatchFX failed. BatchFX failed. But the second solution what I gave, I implemented a database.allows callouts. When implemented, it is not throwing an error message. So whenever we are getting too many callouts error 1, that means that functionality is not supporting web service call. Okay, now it is in the holding state. What happened here? Total number of jobs 7, process is 7. So operation is completed. Go back to the opportunity. So received INR value. We received INR. So whatever the amount we got, we converted that amount in the form of rupees and displayed. Whatever the amount we have, The same amount we have converted into rupees and displayed. Right, boss? So what was the first question? First question is, can I call okay, web service call from Batchbox? In this first point, is it open or authenticated? It is not open, it's authenticated. How are you giving the authentication? So the third party to whom you are making a request, they gave you one key. If you reproduce that key, they will verify the key and sanction you the data what you require. So it is a authenticated information. What basis? API key. They will generate a key, give to you. The same key you are going to reproduce. If it is matching, they will give you the data what you are requesting. That is the first point. Second point, can I call web service from Batchbox or not? Yes, we can call, provided if we implement database.los call. Database.los call. If I use a database.los call out, can I call the web service from? If I use a database.los call out, can I use web service from? Start method? Not possible. Execute method? Yes. Finish method? Not possible. So you are supposed to make a web service call from where? Execute method. If you are making a web service call from execute method, in each execute, how many web service calls we can make? Now there are 10 executes. In every execute, how many web service calls we can make? 100 web service call for every execute. Within every execute method, 100 different calls I can make it. Right. Now, I hope you are good with this. People have followed? Clear? So what I am doing? Making a call to third party system, getting the data. Based on the third party system, I am updating the information. I hope you are good with this. So what is the key point here? If you want to call a web service from third party, from the Batchbox, we have to implement an interface allows callout. Allows callouts. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Okay. Next, how many web service calls will be called within an execute method? Within every execute, 100 web service call can be made because it's a governing limit. So whatever the limit that is applied for a regular transaction, the same limit is applied for execute method. Whatever the limit that is applied for, whatever the web service we are using, whatever the web service restrictions we are having for the whatever the restrictions we are applying for the regular transaction, same restriction is applied for every execute method database. What is the probable error you may encounter? Too many callouts exception 1. I hope you are good. Clear for everyone? Clear? Okay. Let us get into the next level. We want to implement a web service from a schedule Apex. I told this operation has to run every day. Now I want to create a table. What is the table? The table will contain timestamp. The table will contain a timestamp, dollar, rupees. Timestamp, rupees. That means I am maintaining a table at what time? For every 5 minutes, what is the rate of $1? What is the value of $1? I want to maintain a currency conversion table. For every 5 minutes or for every 1 hour. I want to find out $1 equal to how many rupees. The data I want to store it in my table. Got my point here? I want to maintain. Otherwise, once in every day, at the evening 6 o'clock, what is in the morning 9 o'clock, $1 equal to how many rupees? In the evening 6 o'clock, $1 equal to how many rupees? Starting value of the dollar, ending value of the dollar. Let us say it's an e-commerce application. I want to maintain starting value of dollar, ending value of dollar. Based on the difference, I will find out loss or gain. Right? Now it is a schedule Apex. Because the operation has to run every day, it has to be a schedule Apex. Now if it is a schedule Apex, what are the issues we are going to find? We'll check it now. Alright, I hope you are good with this. This example is clear. Everybody is good with this? Clear, boss? Followed? Either you respond or change your facial expressions. Right. I don't know how to read your face. I don't know only Salesforce. Right. Either you answer or change your expression. But chalo, let's take 5 minutes break and come back. We'll see how to implement web service from schedule Apex and trigger. That will be the topic for next 1 hour. Online people, please reconnect. I'll convert the video.